Hello guys, Dmitry Bondar here. This stream uh, will be specifically about a very big company that potentially can lead to a new disaster on a stock market. And today we saw a lot of troubles. And if you ask me what happened today, because I'm trying to follow all trends on news and just to explain to myself and to you what is going on, you should understand what happened today. So we saw just after the market close, we saw a really big drop for many stocks. And this is my wish list. And if you just check the biggest companies actually, they all drop mostly about 6, 7, even 10%. If we are looking to some Chinese companies or Chinese index of Chinese companies, we see a drop even more than 10%. If we are looking to weeks index, we will see that market volatility index today jumped significantly, and that's all because a lot of people expecting some kind of drop. So look at this. So right in the morning we saw a big drop, and it means that there is a very high expectation. Actually, the volatility, excuse me, I'm wrong. Volatility index, we saw a big jump starting from the morning, and then a little bit later, right after the market close, we saw drop. So that was a significant jump for volatility. And if you ask me what happened, so what is the main reason for this, why market, plumped today, there is an answer. There are several answers, to be honest. So the first answer that we have Evergrande collapse. Big Chinese developer Evergrande. It seems like they're going down, and it seems like many people compare this company Evergrande to a new Lehman Brothers because they have so many relations with other banks, with other financial institutions. So potentially this default can lead to a bigger disaster. And I will show you they have a lot of shareholders from big and reliable US banks, from European banks, HSBC, for instance, and some other. That's what the first reason why so many stocks just plumped in the morning. The second, a lot of investors expecting Fed taper talk, so they're expecting that Fed will change their policy. The third reason what happened today, it's about debt ceiling, in infrastructure delays, because Democrats cannot get enough support to approve their infrastructure plans. And the last but not least, it's a corporate tax rate. So a lot of companies expecting this corporate rate increase, and it's also pushing the market down. But I want specifically on this stream talk about Evergrande, because it seems like the story is developing very fast. And if you have any Chinese stocks, Alibaba, Tencent, Evergrande, any other, you have to be very, very careful. So first of all, just to give you a brief idea, what is Evergrande? Evergrande, it's a Chinese company. It's one of the biggest, actually the biggest developer in China, and they have a huge number of projects. Evergrande grew to be one of the China's biggest companies by borrowing more than $300 billion. That's a huge, insane amount of money. Last year, Beijing brought in new rules to control the amount owed by big real estate developers. You know, the Chinese government pushing more and more on the market. They want to be a key player on this market, and it means that a lot of companies will be suffering from new rules and new regulations. So the new measures led Evergrande to offer its properties at major discount to ensure money was coming to keep business afloat. So under the pressure, they had to offer some of their properties just as a discount uh, for their borrowers. And this uncertainty has seen Evergrande shares price tumble by around 85% in total. And that was the beginning of disaster. Why this matters? Why this can lead potentially to a new Lehman Brothers story? Because there are several reasons. The first reason that Evergrande is one of the biggest firm in China. They have they have projects in 300 cities all over China. They have a huge amount of debt. They have relationships with Chinese, with U.S., with European banks, and potentially it can lead to a big disaster. The questions many people ask is Evergrande too big to fail? And the answer is not very easy for many of us, for many investors. There are two options. The first option, Beijing and the Chinese government will help them, will pay their debts or maybe restructure their debts in some way and help them to survive. The second option, they will go down, and in this case, a lot of banks could be under the pressure, and that could lead to fallout of many other institutions. And some analysts called Evergrande China Lehman Brothers. And the bankruptcy of the investment bank, as you remember, in 2008 was one of the catalysts for what became a 2008-2009 financial crisis. So one key reason is that Evergrande's offshore bonds are likely to be restructured, and most of the debt is held by large global funds that aren't banks or other critical financial institutions. But we don't know what China potentially could do in this case. It's pretty hard to predict. We will see in next maybe 7, maybe 10 days. One possibility is that Beijing will bail out Evergrande in some form, but it could also allow the group to collapse. That's what I said. Last week, many people didn't expect that they will go bankrupt. They just talk about some problems with Evergrande, but that wasn't clear. Today, this story is developing very fast, and many big financial institutions, BlackRock, UBC, HSBC, dropped today significantly. Just look at this, 3%, almost 4%. UBS, 6%. BlackRock, 3%. And a lot of other financial institutions dropped just because so many money was borrowed to Evergrande, and it means that potentially if the Evergrande go bankrupt, all these institutions will be involved in this crisis. So today, on Monday, the group also has a large network of loans, and it means that Monday was a deadline for domestic bank loan repayment. So today was a due date. And Deutsche Bank said that there was some grace period, but anyway, they have to pay their money back. And Chinese authorities warned banks last week that Evergrande wouldn't meet these obligations. So it seems like Chinese government become in some way involved because Evergrande is too big to fail. And it means that in coming several days, we could see different outcomes of this story. We can see bankruptcy, we can see some other I don't know, some kind of bailout. We can see drop of stocks for other financial institutions. We can see uh, what else? Maybe big drop for uh, financial and non-financial stocks that in some way has some links to Chinese economy. And today, a lot of tech companies, a lot of indexes just dropped because of this story. I will be keep you in the loop of this story, and I will make update as soon as I have new information. So if you want to get updates about market drop every day, or about this story, please consider to subscribe, and I will make new streams every time when I get a new information. Thank you for watching my channel, and peace out, guys.